So, this is my review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And Zack Snyder's cut of the Justice League. And the Zack Snyder cut, if you will. And as a joke, I was going to make this 4 hours long. Just like over 4 hours long, just like the review. But I decided, no, that'd be a dick move. So instead, I'm just going to go over how I feel about it, what I thought. Now, for those of you who might be new to the reviews on this channel, when I review anything, movies, TV shows, video games, I use a format where I go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good being what I thought was good about it, the bad being what I thought was bad, and the ugly just being things that kind of came to be but don't fit in either category. Then I give my overview, whether I recommend it or don't recommend it. So without much ado, let's get into it after this intro where we start with the bad. I mean, the good, after the cut. So, to be perfectly honest, this may be the best Zack Snyder film in Zack Snyder's Snyderverse, if you will. This may be the best. This may be the best one. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. This may be the best Snyderverse film. A lot of the issues that I feel Zack Snyder kind of had have been, if not fixed, kind of, sort of, less accentuated in some regards. There's actually some sense of a humor in the film for some bits and pieces. There's some character development instead of characters just being, you know, archetypes to an extent. I mean, there's some good things here. There's some good character development. A little bit of sentimentality between some of the characters. Not a lot. I mean, it's not, you know, this is still Zack Snyder, but it's better than it was. So with that being said, we have to ask, what other good things are in here? Well, you know, as per usual, Zack Snyder has some pretty good cinematography for action, which, if that is a major aspect of what you like about these films, then good. You know, so, you know, overall, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Maybe not perfect, but perfection is a harsh thing to ask for. But it's the best. It's the best Zack Snyder film that we've had in a while in the DC cinematic universe. Now, with that being said, I'll go over the bad after the cut. So, like I said, this is the best of all the DC Snyderverse films. It's better than Man of Steel. It's better than Batman v Superman. The problem is that it's still not very good. It's still not very good at all. You know, being the smartest kid in the special needs class is not what I would call a mark of distinction. And that's basically the issue with this film, is that it's a series of events where it's like, okay, this is not really doing it for me. The film's pacing is kind of shit, which makes sense because it's 4 hours long. Like, every single character in the film gets a music video. For some odd reason, they get a music video telling you about how the character feels and everything, about the character, to make the character like an establishing shot of the character's abilities, which, I mean, I get the reason why he did it, is to basically kind of reacquaint people with the character and all that shit. The problem is that it takes a certain level of artistry to pull this off properly, which Zack Snyder and artistry are two foreign concepts that don't jive well together. So that is a negative. Another negative of the game is that the movie is that it is very how can I put this nicely? The movie is like a lot of characters make some really bad decisions for, kind of like, nonsensical reasons. For example, why would Batman, who basically, like, straight up was the villain of, or at least the co-villain of Batman v Superman, why would that character all of a sudden through some mysterious alchemy, all of a sudden now want to, be like, oh, well, I made a promise to Superman on his grave. It's just a series of really, like, heel turn, like, characters not acting, like, let me put it this way, okay? The Batman established by Zack Snyder is not a very good representation of that character. But if you're going to have this person be like that, then why the fuck would you have them act completely differently in the next film? Okay? Like, it's just, there's a lot of, like, mind-baffling character designs, character choices made by pre-established characters. Ezra Miller's The Flash gets a little bit better. He's not as annoying as he was in Batman v Superman, but still, not that good. The rest of the characters are really annoying. Aquaman is annoying. Wonder Woman is annoying. Like, none of these characters are characters that I really am invested in these versions of these characters. Don't give a fuck about any of the rest of them. The fact that they want to create sentimentality and an emotional investment in characters that you don't really give a fuck about is kind of offensive to me. It's just, Ray Fisher's Cyborg is like this film suffers from okay direction, shitty script writing. I'm not sure who wrote the script for Justice League, but they need to be fired. Because the script writing for this is just fucking atrocious. I mean, it is really bad how bad this script writing is. And, I mean, I feel kind of bad that the script is written so poorly. So, that's a bad thing. The music is there, but not great. That's the best way I can put it. It's there. It's not great, though. It could be a lot better. That being said, let's see. Are there any other bad things about it? Let me check my notes here. talked about the length of the film, that it was just too goddamn long. 4 hours is too long for this. The Zack Snyder isms are a little bit too... The Zack Snyder isms, even though he pulled back on a lot of them, well, not a lot, on some of them, the ones that he didn't pull back on, like too goddamn much slow motion, he really, 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 really did not pull back on them. Once again, I'm going to say it again. Zack Snyder's version of these characters is fucking terrible. His Lex Luthor is a joke. His Batman is unenjoyable. His Superman is a character whom I legitimately don't like and don't want to see ever again. Ray Fisher's Cyborg is just fucking terrible. Basically what I'm saying is this. All of these characters are just unenjoyable to me. Just completely unenjoyable to me. And I don't even like what's her name as Diana Prince. Like, I don't like any of these versions of these characters. None of them. None of them are interesting or enjoyable to watch. So much so that I was almost rooting for the villains. Like, I wanted Steppenwolf to kill at least some of these fuckers, because I didn't like them. And it's bad when you're rooting for the villain because you don't like the heroes. Like, I wanted to see Superman kill Batman in this film, because I'm like, this version of Batman is an asshole. Why would I root for this character who's done nothing to make you want to root for them? So, that's kind of like where I am right now, where I just really I'm not really all that invested. Zack Snyder didn't give you a reason to be invested in these characters. Ray Fisher's Cyborg comes across as a whiny bitch. Wonder Woman is just kind of like, Arthur. It's like you're completely uninvested in all these characters, at least for me. It's like I don't really give a shit about Superman. They introduced Darkseid, but it's like, why? Why introduce a character that you're never going to do a fucking thing with? So there's just a lot of this is the best. If this is the best that Zack Snyder could do, then it makes me sad that they ever gave him the keys to the kingdom, because he clearly was not the right choice to be running this franchise. And people shouldn't act surprised that it failed, because Zack Snyder was the wrong person to run the franchise. He didn't understand the characters. Yeah, he can make it look, he can make the shit look like the comics. But comic books, people forget, yeah, they're comics, but they're also books, which means that, there's characters, there's characterization. These characters have, there's some nuance to it. It's not just a visual medium. And nuance is something that Zack Snyder is woefully inadequate at representing. So because of that, that's the bad. I'll get to the ugly after the cut. So the ugly is going to be short and sweet. Basically, I find that this film was completely unnecessary. I'm guessing that the only reason this is a thing is because fans of Zack Snyder kept on whining for it. Because clearly, if you're a fan of these characters, you probably were not all that enthused by Zack Snyder's interpretation of these characters. So with that being said, I know everyone's going to have their own opinions on it, and that's actually a good thing that people have their own interpretations. But for me, I found it to be insipid, morose, and it's the best Zack Snyderverse DCEU film, but the other ones were so bad that, you know, saying that, like I said, saying that you're the best out of the worst is still, you know, not an accomplishment. So essentially, I will give my overview after the cut. So here's my overview. My overview of it is, this is definitely a film that you should watch if you're a fan of Zack Snyder's interpretation of these characters, or you're just a Zack Snyder fan. If you are someone who is a fan of the more classical interpretation of these characters, or you like really good script writing or tight or consistent characters, this film is not for you. It's not for you. You know, nothing, because this film, you know, Zack Snyder's 3 films are trying to do, you know, once again, it's trying to do in 3 movies what Marvel did in, you know, 10 movies, and it just doesn't work. You know, trying to bake a cake, a classical style cake, in, you know, 2 minutes versus the 30 minutes that it might normally take, it's not going to work. It's going to be half baked, and that's essentially what has happened with this film. Is that it's like this film, parts of it in terms of pacing and what it's trying to do for DC just feels fucking half baked. So I mean, even though it is the best film in the DC universe, I would put it as having the same score as the Joss Whedon cut of this film, which is a 75. It's a solid D. It's a solid D film. Still the best film that to come out of the Snyderverse, but still not all that enticing or worthwhile. So if I had to give it a grade, even though I don't like giving grades to things, I would give it a D. You know, Man of Steel got a low D of like a 72. Batman v Superman was an F of 50, and this is a D, a solid D. The overall Zack Snyder experiment has been an F. So I mean, for me, the Zack Snyderverse has been a underwhelming and overall failure. You know, all 3 grades that I've given it added together is 197 divided by 3, 65. Rounded up, 65.66. And so it's an F. This has been a failed cinematic universe, and I mean, I'm glad it's done. It's done. It's over. It's over. We can wrap things up and call it a day. Give me your thoughts on where you think the DC films need to go from here. Are you happy that it's over, or are you missing Zack Snyder's take on these characters? Stay tuned for more content. We will be doing even more in the upcoming weeks. This Saturday, we're doing a pop culture movie cast where we'll be talking about movies that we wish got rebooted and how we do it. We'll also talk some video game news at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, hour and a half podcast, BS Busters. You can follow me on Twitter at mrredfox91. Matthew Wesley at mrredfox91. You can @ me on Twitter at mrredfox91. I'm also in the process of getting my Google blog page up, where you can leave comments, questions, all that type of stuff. I am also on Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the description. So with that being said, that's in this video. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Peace, and have a good day.